Good morning. Happy Thursday to everybody. Hope you've been enjoying a great week, working on your goals and your activities. And let's get to our action today. Our word of the day is Tyro, a beginner or novice. She was still a Tyro in pottery, so her jars always came out slightly misshapen. So that's our word of the day, Tyro. Let's go to the S&P 500 heat map. We got quite a sea of red here. NVIDIA is up today on Broadcom's results. Broadcom was up a lot more after hours last night, but it is up about 12% today. Tesla is up 3.65%. I think that was on the vote of pay package for Mr. Elon Musk. NE is up in the utilities. Otherwise, it's kind of healthcare is bouncing back today. Consumer defensive, we got a few names there, and so that is the story in the S&P 500 heat map. The PPI came in softer. I'll just take a look here. Initial claims for jobless benefits rose 13,000 to 242,000 in the week through June 8th, and jobless claims haven't been this high since August of 2023. And then overall producer price index for final demand fell 0.2%, way below the plus 0.1% forecast. The PPI rose 2.2% from a year ago, undercutting the 2.5% estimate. So that is the story there. So let us go to our charts. Not sure if this screen is showing our charts at the moment. Let me just go here. I just wanted to showcase this one. This was for a friend of mine. I was just looking at the TQQQ, the SBXL, and the FNGU. So let me see if I can locate that screen again. Seems to have disappeared. Let me see if it's anywhere. It is not. So let me go back here and just show you how to do that. So to do a comparison, you click on this little box with the 4 arrows. We'll put in the TQQ, which is beating the SPX. And look at the FANG-U. These are all triple hedged indexes or ETFs. And the FANG-U is beating all these two other ones by quite a wide margin. So that is the story there. Now let us go take a look at our dollar index. Looks like our dollar index is jumping quite a bit today. Not sure what's causing that. But look at all this volume here. Whether we get a breakout or not is a good question. These things are gyrating back and forth. See what silver is doing. Silver is gapping down. Look at this erratic pattern. Gaps down, gaps up, gaps down. And now it has definitely fallen to the 50-day moving average, bounced a little bit. We say we thought it could come down 23, but our target was the 50-day, so it has come down to the 50-day. Gold, I would imagine, is falling as well. It is. Bumped its head on the 50-day and has retreated. Copper is falling big time as well. Let's just look at our 3 or 4 big names. Tech tried to bounce yesterday, is falling. Freeport McMoran is falling as well. Southern Copper, down big, and then ERO, Copper Mining, and this one is holding up pretty strong. It's got a pullback, but it is remaining really tight up here. I really like that action. So let us go to our bond yields. I believe our bond yields are falling again. Dive down yesterday, recovered a little bit, and that's what the market had sold off towards the end, and it is diving once again. So it has fallen below the 4.33. We're now 4.23, 10 basis points. The 20-year has fallen below the bottom of this box here. So they are at 3.34. Take a look at the VIX. VIX has got a little bounce. I believe it was 13. Right about here was kind of our target, I believe, 1350, maybe 1345. Take a look at the S&P 500. It's pretty flat, just holding on to yesterday. The equal weight in the S&P 500 is falling. Once you take out the big cap techs and make everything equally weighted, it is falling. Our NASDAQ is up slightly. I believe Broadcom is really helping that. It's up 0.4%. Broadcom and Tesla, I guess. We got our equal weight. Looks like it's filling the gap over here. Pretty interesting. Our small capitalization stocks filling the gap as well. It's interesting that the yield is dropping, but it's not helping the small cap arena at all. Dow Jones. This is the weakest sector, and it is falling. So let's go take a look at our news for the day. Right after, let's take a look at the financials. They're down. Energy continues down. Take a look at our oil prices is up. It is just amazing that look at this big run in oil. The oil producers cannot take any move up. Consumer staples. This is oil and gas exploration is down as well. Communications with Google, Facebook, pulling back to the 20-day. Technology, look at that. Technology is moving up. Software, it looks like it's trying to fill the gap, pulling back to its 50-day. Real estate should be moving up. It is. It's bouncing. It pulled back yesterday after rising. Home builders. Pulled back and bounced. Building supply. Pulling back and it's trying to bounce. Semiconductors should be up with Broadcom results, and they are. Looks like we got a slight gap up this morning. Infrastructure it's pulling back. Airlines is down. Mining and metals is down as well. And then our favorite ETF. Got a gap up here and we got another gap up into the profit zone today. So it's up 4.4%. So let's go to our news. The bull bear spread in American Association of Individual Investors, AAII weekly survey was 18.9 versus 7 last week. Bulls rise to 44.6 from 39, neutrals 29.7 from 29, and bears fall to 25.7 from 32. Dave and Buster's Q1 adjusted EPS $1.12 versus estimate $1.70, and they are gapping down. They are not doing what some of the other restaurants have been doing. Oxford Industries Q1 adjusted EPS $2.66 versus $2.68. Dress shirts and clothing is falling quite a bit. It did gap down and is fighting back to stay above the 200-day moving average. Torrid Holdings adjusted EBITDA 38.222 million versus estimate of 32.84. Initially rose and now it's selling off, pulling back to the 50-day moving average. This is a penny stock involved in manufacturing, distributor of global footwear. J. Jill, 2 million share spot secondary priced at $31. And we've got a big gap down, but the price is near 40. Why would you offer it at 31? So that nobody likes to be devalued that much. Kimberly Clark upgraded to buy from underperform at Bank of America and raised its target to $160 from $115. Wow. Disposable diapers, baby wipes, facial tissue, etc. We got a kind of odd shaped base here, trying to make it up, pulled back. So that is the story with Kimberly Clark. Planet Fitness to buy back shares under a $500 million authorization as they are working. This looks like could be a double bottom here. Try to move up, pull back again, and this would have been the buy area, but it would have been short-lived as it came back down. Looks like a little bit of a wide and loose pattern here. Kind of wait to see if it'll tighten up as it kind of etches the box here. Tesla shares rise after CEO Elon Musk said 2 proposals to re-ratify his pay package move. The EV maker legal home to Texas from Delaware are passing by wide margins, and Tesla expects to increase the price of its Model 3 because of import duties to be levied by the EU on cars made in China. Carmaker said its website on Thursday without specifying the size of the price target. A lot of news in Tesla. Shareholder meeting being held today as investors will vote on the $56 billion compensation package and the company's reincorporation in Texas from Delaware. Analysts have flagged the risk of Musk potentially leaving and prioritizing artificial intelligence startup xAI and social media platform X with the pay package does not pass. So that is the story on Tesla. Got a gap up. It's near its lows. It's up 3.8%. On to energy, industrial, and materials. Generac downgraded to neutral from buy at Janney after a rally in shares. Got a big sell-off falling under its 50-day moving average. So that is the story there. 3M announced that it purchased a group annuity contract and will transfer a portion of its U.S. pension payment obligations under the 3M Employee Retirement Income Plan, or ERIP, E-R-I-P, to Metropolitan Tower Life Insurance Company, an insurance company. Under the contract, 3M will transfer approximately $2.5 billion of its defined benefit pension obligations and related assets, approximately 23,000 U.S. retirees and beneficiaries to Met Tower Life. So that is the story there. U.S. natural gas pipeline venture Mountain Valley Pipeline said on Wednesday it is preparing $7.85 billion pipe from West Virginia to Virginia. This is the U.S. Natural Gas Tracking Fund. It's going to begin commercial operations. A spokesman at U.S. gas pipeline company Equitrans Midstream, the lead partner in the Mountain Valley venture. So they are bouncing off of the 20-day moving average, and they're actually down close to 1%. So that is a story. Reminder, EQT agreed in March to buy Equitrans in an all-stock deal, which is expected to close in the fourth quarter. So that is it. And moving on to financials, Ares Financial Management, $2.65 million Class A common stock offering priced at $134.75. Here's another one offering below the current stock price at $134.75 a share. JP Morgan Executive Rohrbach notes trading revenue in quarter two is trending slightly better than mid-single digit growth guidance. Notes investment banking revenue could be up 25 to 30% a year on quarter two, according to Reuters. JP Morgan didn't come up. There we are. It's bouncing a little bit. It's under its 50-day. And W.R. Berkley raises quarterly dividend by 9% to 12 cents a share, declares a special dividend of 50 cents per share. So W.R. Berkley is down 0.37% onto healthcare. Asian Pharmaceuticals files for a shelf of 61.9 ordinary shares by selling stockholder. And this is definitely a penny stock. Avity Biosciences files to sell 300 million in common stock. The stock is actually moving up on this. I'm not sure price will be. Cara Therapeutics announces outcome of Part A of Courage, spelled with a K, -1 study evaluating oral ephedriliquephalin nostalgia paresthetica, saying it did not demonstrate meaningful clinical benefits. So this is gapping down. This is definitely a penny stock as well. Pfizer Cifrio study did not meet the primary endpoint of improvement in motor function among boys 4 to 7 years old treated with DMD gene therapy versus a placebo. Watch shares of Sarepta with a rival DMD drug. So Pfizer sold off and is trying to stay above its 50-day moving average. Let's take a look at Sarepta. It is up slightly. It hits its 50-day moving average and retreats to the 20-day. We're on to Ultragenics, announces $350 million common stock warrants offering. On to technology, media, and telecom. Broadcom is leading the charge here. Adjusted EPS $10.96 versus $10.80. Revenues 12.49, tops estimate of 12.06. Got a huge gap up. Get my cursor back over here. You can see right here. High was 17.35, selling off down to 16.76. MicroStrategy to offer 500 million of convertible senior notes, and guess what they're going to do with that? Yes, they're going to buy more Bitcoin with that. So that is kind of the story there. I kind of felt like something like this might happen because they had a report out of all the ETFs and saw how big the ETF stash was with those companies, which was significantly beating their stash. So that is a story with our news today. A couple of companies I wanted to bring up. This company OLED, the TV maker, broke out the other day. Must be something going on here. Look at all these blue bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. Just continuing to move up 0.61%. Haven't looked at this one in a while, but way back when it was 22, we said this was going to go up on VCP, volatility contraction pattern. And look at this little shelf pattern right over here, lifts up. Got some nice blue bars here. See where that goes. Was looking at this the other day. This had sold off, and interesting little tight little shelf pattern right here. Volume is a little muted, but continue to watch that one. So let us go to our screen. What's up? 10% on 200% increase in volume. Broadcom we looked at already. I believe this is John Wiley and Sons. Textbooks, reference works, and whatnot. Look at this huge gap up of 13%. Pull this open, see what kind of news. Not really any news unless it was part of Morningstar's unstoppable growth engines stocks. And then we have Urogen Pharma. Look at this move, 42%. Look at all that volume. See if we have any news over here. Catapults on unprecedented results for a gel-based cancer drug. Test for its bladder cancer treatment, a gel-based drug that avoids surgical removing tumors. After 3 months, 79.6% of the patients treated with Urogen Pharma's drug had a complete response, meaning evidence of their tumors disappeared. But what's unprecedented, says the company, is patients had 82.3% chance of maintaining that response for at least a year. So that is the news for that one. So let me go see what's up. 5% on 100% increase in volume. Got 10 items. Banco Marco, Argentine bank operating through 467 branches in Buenos Aires and other provinces of Argentina. We got a double bottom here, bouncing. Might be something you want to put on your watch list. Neurogene. A couple of different companies in Argentina. The new president is actually creating some pretty good results. Develop life-changing genetic medicines for patients and their families. Got a definite bounce over here, moving above 40. Pampa Energia, another Argentine company. Generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. We got a cup with a handle here. It's rising. Let's see if we can draw this line through here. If you neglect this, it is breaking out. Has some pretty good volume right over here. So it's definitely something to put on your watch list. Soma developed antibodies and a lot of biotech today popping up, and recombinant proteins to treat infectious immunological, and that's the end of that one. Not much volume over here, but it is definitely moving. Corn Ferry. Executive and middle management recruiting services throughout 108 offices. Definitely looks like this is a double bottom, weird kind of shaped double bottom. but it is definitely breaking out of the double bottom formation and into the pivot here, into the pivot buy area. 3 days in a row, pretty good volume. So that is our look there. What is the double bottom? It is a W formation, selling off, pull back to the 20-day, and then it sliced right through its 50-day. You look at our Darvis box. This is where it has been oscillating. And you can see it's definitely broken out of that area, up nearly 7%. Take a look at the weekly. So here's a double, like a series of double bottoms here. We initially broke out here. We pulled back to a cup with handle, had a lot of tight area, pulled back to the 50 right here. Bounce, here's the double bottom, and it's breaking out right here. That is a story with Corn Ferry. Let's just take a look at around Weatherford. It's under all of its major moving averages. Toast. Big cup with a handle, broke out, and now it's under most 10, 20, and 50-day moving averages. We'll see if this continues to pull back, but it may be working on a new base, pretty deep base. So we'll just continue to do that. It needs to have support. Earnings grew 0% last quarter. It did break out as a surprise, but then I think a lot of professional managers started to sell. And let's take a look at a couple others. I'm going to try to bring up Bitcoin, which is selling off. The reason Bitcoin sold off, it did break out yesterday and sold off. And just stop the share. The number of Bitcoin miners sold into the rally. Their profits have been cut in half, so that's kind of the thing that is going to prevent it from breaking out above 72,000. So this is a chart. Bitcoin came up here, and then they all kind of sold their Bitcoin, tried to remain close to as profitable as they could. And that is kind of the story with Bitcoin. And here is Ethereum. Ethereum has been selling off as well. Came up here to 35.24, pulled back. So that is the story with those two. Let's go back to our regular screens. So MicroStrategy yesterday morning, we bought. Thought it might get close to a breakout, came right here and then turned tail, and we sold right with 16.22 we sold. We'd actually bought at 16.38 and just not want to let the losses grow anymore. So it went to a low of 14.96. Right now it's at 15.05. So we're just going to continue to wait. We may wait until it hits a breakout area where Bitcoin needs to get above 72,000 for a breakout. So that's the story there. NVIDIA continues higher, just continues marching higher. Just incredible. So Look at this performance against the S&P 500. It's at 99. Volume is a little weak here. Maybe a little bit of a wedging pattern. What is wedging? Wedging is when a stock continues to go up on low volume. So that's a risk that it could lead to a correction. Sorry, with NVIDIA. All the small capitalization stocks are correcting right now. Got a little bit of pullback at Dutch Brothers to 38.53. We'll see if it pulls back to its 10-day moving average. Elf Beauty. We do have a story on Elf Beauty. Share that. It did sell off initially, but now it's bouncing. Let's see if it comes up to this break point. Just go to that other story. This is Elf Beauty. Candle has a 202.58 after finding support of the 50-day. Share, let's see. Shares jumped 21% the week of May 24th on the highest volume since the base began to form 14 weeks ago. Market surge pattern recognition shows. So this kind of looks like a double bottom to me. This is a low of the bottom at 157.66. This is a W, and we had a option at 160. So those will convert, I think, at the end of next week. L shows accumulation distribution rating of A-, indicates heavy institutional buying. Much of the volume upside came on the May 24th when ELF reported far stronger than expected earnings expectations. The relative strength is lagging the S&P 500. This is a third stage base. Shares have soared 485% from the initial breakout in July 22. So it may be asking a lot for ELF to make another big run. So that's something to keep in mind. Latest quarter earnings jumped 26% to 53 cents a share versus expectations for a 21% decline. Sales increased 71% year over year to 321.1 million. So that's kind of the story on ELF. We do have the 5 options that we hope to convert. So that is the story with ELF. Let's go back to our charts. Got a little bit of a pullback to 4 to the 10-day moving average. Lower. A little bit of a pullback. Slice right through. Once you find my cursor, the 10-day moving average and now is bounced. We do have the covered calls right up here at 65. I think it's up. Our covered calls increased. I'm not sure it was $2,500 today. Let's take a look at it here. It was $650. The covered calls increased today on the drop. Chart. AV, another aerospace defense stock. We did take half of our profits yesterday between 118 and 119. So we have 25 shares left of AV. FTAI Aviation got a slight pullback of 1.77% today. Even though we sold Helmet, we'll just take a quick look here. They're pulling back to their 20-day moving average. Added this one, 117. It is pulling back to its 10-day moving average. So we're contemplating whether we want to add to that since what we bought was such a small amount. CrowdStrike is pulling back as well. Slight pullback, nothing drastic, a little under 1%. Kava Mediterranean Grill pulling back to its 10-day, right about the same kind of move as on CrowdStrike. NTAP in the AI arena is moving up. I guess Broadcom helped it move up a little bit. It's up 1.28%. I think that's kind of all we look at. Take a look at Lyft. We had gotten rid of that last week. Continues to dive. So I don't think it's going to do too much until it reports earnings. It needs to beat earnings for this to get above its moving average lines. And Denison Mines, it's got support. It's pulling back to its 50-day moving average. We had originally bought this at 85 cents. Sold this and we bought it over here at 179. Went up to 215. We sold it, I believe was it 2 or 204. And then we bought it back at 194. So that's where we are currently. We did sell a covered call at 250 for July. So we'll continue to watch that one as well. So that is a story for Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Please continue to go out there and work on your goals. Come up with new activities every day. Write a list of 10 activities. They'll help you to meet your goals. And if you have any financial goals that we can help you with, feel free to reach out to us. We hope to see you again on Friday. Finish out the week strong. We will talk to you then.